I said, yeah, let's do it. Let's do June 10th. So I agreed to June 10th, and I got some kind of insurance just in case he pulls out.
This is the Schmo with the pro, with the man who's got the longest active win streak, who doesn't have a gold strap around his waist in the lightweight division, the number 4th ranked UFC Lightweight Beneil Dariush, inside your home, Anaheim, California. How we doing?
We're doing good. It's been an eventful week for me, but overall we're doing good.
Certainly has been an eventful week, but at least you got a haircut, you're looking clean, and listen, man, you're in good spirits, yeah?
Yeah, it is what it is, you know. This is just a fight game. It's nothing new.
Talk to the Schmo for a second. You were inside Las Vegas, inside the UFC headquarters last week, meeting with the brass. That's when they broke the news to you that your fight would be in jeopardy with Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira, May 6th, co-main event, UFC 288. You had a conversation with them. They told you the news. It came out Friday that this fight's off. So overall, man, what's the instant reaction?
I mean, instant reaction was like, dang, man, I was really upset. And then, this isn't our first booking. We were supposed to fight originally as well. I know one time I was offered to him, and I think he said no. And then there's a second time where he did accept it and then dropped out and then went and fought Tony Ferguson. So this feels like the third or fourth time, So it's a third time. So I'm just frustrated at this point, and I was really hoping to fight May 6th, but it looks like the UFC wants to push it back.
And we'll get to that in just one moment, because we're sitting in these same seats. It was January, right here inside your home, maybe a couple of centimeters to our right over here, when you were kind of saying to the Schmo that you didn't think this fight was going to happen. You weren't so confident. I don't want to say you predicted this, but are you confident you would get Charles Oliveira as your next opponent?
That's a great question. Honestly, no, because we were supposed to fight before, and he said he had some issues, and then he didn't take care of, and then he got rebooked with Tony Ferguson. So that's another thing. I'm not super confident the fight's gonna happen anyways, and I could easily make a case that I'm ready for the belt, and. Like, the belt doesn't, make me, have to fight for it. I like fighting tough guys. Charles is a very tough guy. So is Islam. All these guys, I want to fight them. So when they said Charles, I was like, sure. But now I just feel like they're just going to make me wait, and then I might not even get that fight. So I'm not super confident, no. I'm telling you, it's not negative. It's just, it was a feeling, You feel something, and it just felt like, I don't know. When I was looking at him, throughout this whole thing, I'm seeing him in Australia. I'm seeing him with big back tattoos, and I don't feel like he was as focused and motivated. And then you jump into camp, not focused, not motivated, and you're trying to push really hard to make up for lost time. So injuries are more likely to happen. So that's kind of where I was thinking, and just. Motivation is a big thing for fighters. If you're not motivated, man, it's hard to make it to the fight.
So the UFC wants to rebook this thing. They don't want to give you that title shot with Islam Makhachev, who wants to fight in Abu Dhabi in the fall. They don't want to give you the immediate title shot. They want you to fight one more fight. What was that conversation like, Beneil?
Yeah, that conversation was... I was actually pretty upset at that time, but took a minute and kind of calmed down. So I go in and I basically say to them, "Hey, if that's the case, if he's not available, let me fight Makhachev in, let's say, July or August." But they're like, "No, we have to save Makhachev for October for the Abu Dhabi card." I was like, "Okay," and I don't really want to wait till October, but I still want to fight for the belt, right? So I say, okay, why don't I get him in October then? And basically, the way they put it is I'm not the number one contender. Is the way they put it. They said there's people ahead of me, and they specifically pointed out to Dustin Poirier. And at that point, I was about to flip a table. I was about to take Justin Gaethje's advice. He said if Dariush doesn't get the title shot, we riot. And I was very close to that. I was, but the thing kind of that brought me back was thinking, well, I don't want to wait till October to fight anyways. I like fighting. So with that being said, even before they offered Charles, I said, hey, Tsarukyan is fighting Moicano. I didn't know Moicano was hurt. I said, why don't we toss in Tsarukyan into May 6th with me and find somebody else for Moicano? And they kind of looked at me like shocked, right? And my manager, man, he was so mad. Ali was so pissed when I said that, because he's like, hey, the whole point was to get you into fight somebody ahead of you, right? And so I do that, and they say no to that too. And I'm not sure the reasoning why they said no to that, but I know Ali was not happy with me, and I know my team wasn't happy with that. But at the end of the day, I'm a fighter, and I just want to fight. So that happened, and we went back and forth a bunch, and then we basically finished off with that. I had a meeting with Hunter. And then I heard Dana was in the other room, and he had other meetings too. So, and then I saw Dana afterwards, but we didn't really talk about the fight with Dana. So Dana, I was talking to him. We were talking about UFC 287, and I was like, man, I think that was your best show. We were going back and forth about it, and then he knows I'm a big fan of Trump, so he's like, hey, let me show you some stuff. Like we're doing some stuff with Trump, and like. I felt like almost like good cop, bad cop thing. I had the bad cop first, then I had the good cop. But, man, I get along well with Dana. If it wasn't for Dana, for example, I became ranked top 5 in the world because Dana kept the UFC going during COVID. So, I get along really well with Dana. There's a lot of things I like. Obviously, I didn't like their decision in this, but overall, Dana and I were cool.
On the note of Dana White, yesterday at the post-fight press conference for Holloway and Arnold Allen over in Kansas City, he was quoted saying, if it weren't for bad luck, you wouldn't have any luck at all. What do you think the boss man meant by that statement, Beneil?
I think it has to do with the fact that, 10 days out with Makhachev, I broke my leg in a practice that would never happen. It was a grappling focused practice, and my toe gets stuck in a mat in a way where it just one in a billion, man. I don't think that's ever happened to me in my 15 years or 17 years or however long I've been doing this, right? So that's one thing. And then now Charles, pulls out, and I think that's what he's talking about. If there's something else, maybe there's something more to it than I don't know, but I think that's what he's talking about.
So where do things leave off? They're going to rebook you with Charles Oliveira? When's it going to be? Where's it going to be? And let's say he pulls out again or it doesn't happen. Do you get the title shot? What's the situation? Where'd it leave off?
So these are the things we kind of went over too. They said they want to push the fight to June 10th. By the way, I still don't have a contract, so I'm not sure if it's for sure, but that's what they told me they want to do, June 10th. And at first I wasn't about it because, what if this guy pulls out? But then I said a couple of things. Listen, if this guy pulls out again, I want the title shot. And what else was there? It was that, and then basically a pay bump too. And they agreed to both things, and that was pretty much it. So they agreed to those two things, and if he pulls out, so I do get the title shot, and that's what I was told. Now it's hard to say no to that, right? Because it seems to me the UFC on their part is doing everything to make this fight happen. So I said, yeah, let's do it. Let's do June 10th. So I agreed to June 10th, and I got some kind of insurance just in case he pulls out. So
co-main event for the Juliana Pena-Amanda Nunes trilogy over there in Vancouver. So you go to the next pay-per-view.
I would assume so, unless there's another title fight on that card, right? I would assume so.
Of course, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be fighting, hopefully, Charles do Bronx Oliveira. But what's the nature of his injury? Do you know what it is, where he'll be healed enough in time for 1 month later?
They're not going to tell me, obviously, what his injury is, right? Like, they tell me, his shoulder hurts. Dariush is going to take advantage or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what his injury is. I don't know how he's going to recover fast enough and then get back into training camp. We're 8 weeks out from that fight now. I was supposed to be 3 weeks out from May 6th, but now we're 8 weeks out. And man, what I'm gonna have to do is kind of pull back, chill out, because I've been, this is when you go like a maniac. These last 4 weeks, 4 to 3 weeks, you go out there and you go as hard as you can, and then the last 2 weeks you start to kind of taper down. So I'm gonna have to pull back a little bit and get ready and do another camp basically. So just have to be smart about it. But I feel great shape wise. I'm the best shape I've ever been. Speed is good, power is good. I was really looking forward to May 6th to the point where I was willing to fight just about anybody else. I even thinking about it now, I would even go up to 170 if they gave me an opportunity at May 6th.
Well, it needs a co-main event. Who do you think should be the co-main event? You'd fight at 170. Obviously, you're not going to be doing that, but what do you think the UFC should do? They should maybe put one of their welterweights in there? What do you think?
Welterweights? Who's available welterweight?
Well, Bilal wants to be on that card. Also, Gilbert Eldorino Burns wants to be on that card. You know, the situation is this. Leon Rocky Edwards does not want to fight in July. They would do a second pay-per-view card in London Town for him, but he wants to fight in Abu Dhabi as well in the fall. So there's a lot of guys at the top of the welterweight division that want to fight. Maybe you fight now and then you fight Rocky in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, if they both want to be on that card, I guess, you know, they could do that. They could fight each other. But man, it's tricky because I know they're managed by Ali as well, and
one of them could fight Colby Covington then.
That I'm sure they would both love that. I'm sure if you give them the option, they would both jump on it. But pretty sure Colby's going to be sitting tight on his title shot. He's not going anywhere, and he's going to just keep pushing for that. And I get it. I get why he wants to do that. But man, I see a lot of similarities between Dariush, Bilal, and myself. You know, we recognize we don't have all the time in the world, right? We're getting older, and we just want to fight. We enjoy fighting, and we want to be in that octagon. So everybody wants to fight, and if those two want to fight each other, they can. I don't think they've said they want to fight each other, but that's an option for sure. And that would make it very clear who the number one contender is at 170, right? Yeah, that's an option. I was more thinking about myself, and now you brought up the 170s. I was thinking about fighting at 170, but yeah, that's something they could do, I guess, yeah.
He's willing to fight anybody. He's willing to fight at 170, but one question the Schmo want to follow up with you. They say you're not the number one contender, the UFC that is. They say it's Dustin Poirier. You want to fight Dustin Poirier then instead of fighting a Do Bronx Oliveira, or you just know that you fight Do Bronx Oliveira, you're getting the next title shot no matter what?
So I did want to fight Dustin. I called for that fight a while back, and then after his Chandler fight, he basically said he wasn't interested in fighting me, and I was like, whatever. I can't force people to fight me, right? I'm not gonna like chase you around and beg you to fight me. But so the reason why he's considered number one contender, I think the reason why the UFC consider him number one contender is Charles just lost. He's ranked higher. So if I beat Charles, I become number one contender for sure without anyone being able to deny it. But would I want to fight Dustin Poirier? Of course, man. I'm trying to fight everybody. That's my job, is to fight the best guys in the world. And I actually think Dustin Poirier is one of the best guys in the world. So yeah, I do want to fight him. In an ideal world, May 6th, I fight Oliveira in an ideal world if he's not injured. And ideal world, by September, I would fight Makhachev and then start going after guys like Dustin Poirier and Tsarukyan and all these guys, Justin Gaethje as well. You know, all these guys that want to fight for the title. That's an ideal world, but that's not how it works. I'm currently going to be pushed back to June 10th. So I got Charles then, and then I got to figure out what's next after that.
And it seems it's logically going to happen that Gaethje and Poirier round 2 would happen in your division.
Yeah, that's actually something I think the UFC really wants to do. They want to have those guys fight. Man, that is a. If you're a fan of the sport, that's a fight to watch. Like, I'm trying to imagine it with the improvement Justin has made and the way Dustin Poirier fights. They both improved, right? But I think Justin Gaethje has improved more both in mindset and technique. He's more patient. He does a better job of setting up his attacks. And then Poirier is a dog. I think he could fight 5 rounds like any day, like any given day. He just knows how to be energy efficient. He knows how to bait you into the counter. So I can't wait for that fight.
Can we get a final message for all the Beneil Dariush fans out there worldwide?
Appreciate all the push. I see so many people messaging me and telling me, hey, you should go for the title shot. And I tried. I really did. I've been pushing for it. And I appreciate everybody being so vocal for this. The goal is the same. The goal is to fight and win. And so I appreciate you guys getting behind me. And let's just, at this moment, it looks like it's June 10th. So let's make June 10th special.
He's the pro. I'm the schmo. Inside your home. Appreciate your time. Impromptu interview. We're out.